segment, Ohio State and Penn State, and we'll break that down. We'll go ahead and take our first break here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. When we come back, Brett Pritchard will be out here with me, and we'll get you set and look back at Friday night football, region implications, region titles were on the line last night, and many were won. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin, comfort for life.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. At Main Street Family Urgent Care, we want you to know one of the benefits of our clinic. We have a self-pay option that allows you to get the most out of your visit. That means you don't have to worry about receiving a large bill after your visit. $125 covers all in-house labs, stitches, x-rays, or injections, and we have a selection of antibiotics available in the clinic. We want you to feel better fast at Main Street Family Urgent Care, open 7 days a week in Alexander City across the street from Walmart. Heal better, feel better fast.
So Dave here is taking the family up to the lake for the weekend, but without the white knuckles this time. Because his new 2018 Ford F-150 has Blitz with trailer coverage. It's Brainiac smart. Not only does it watch your F-150's blind spots, it's got your trailer covered too. One less thing to spoil the weekend. No, it can't make the fish bite, but maybe they'll work on that. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, pal. It is the bar.
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
Ready to put some fun in your life? Whether it's Central or East Alabama, North Alabama, West Georgia, or wherever you're from, Fun Carts of Opelika is your authorized E-Z-GO cart dealer that has no limits on a perfect E-Z-GO cart. Whether it's a fully customized cart or a stock-made cart, we'll deliver it on time and at the best price. Fun Carts gives you the service after the sale, so no matter if it's hunting, tailgating, motorhoming, fleet rental, or just a better way to get around, Fun Carts of Opelika has it and will customize it to your needs. Visit us in Opelika or call us or visit online for the best E-Z-GO carts. Put a little fun in your life with Fun Carts of Opelika.
Welcome back into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. 256-234-6221 is our phone number. I'm Randy Lee alongside Brett Pritchard. And we had a good football game last night that we enjoyed being able to go out there and call. A very good football team from Wetumpka with some top-notch talent that's moving on to SEC schools. Kowaliga Smoke, we were impressed last year, but probably more than ever last night with the way that he's able to sidetrack tackles, make you miss, being a big body like he is, Brett. You had to tell me a few times, just sometimes athletes that are that good athletes make good football players look mediocre. And unfortunately, I think that's what we got last night for Benjamin Russell. We haven't been up against a back that was as good as him all season.
No, I just, at some point in time in the game, you just got to look and say, you got to tip your hat, somebody's better than you sometimes. And when they make, and it's not that we didn't have a chance to win the game. We had chances to win the game. They had some players that are elite players that a lot of teams out there would love to have, and credit them. They made plays when it mattered. They made drives when it mattered. There were twice in the game we cut it to 3 points, once right before half. They broke our back. We got to learn to put ourselves in good positions. Right before halftime, a pooch kick to probably their fastest receiver. And they set it up. They go all the way across the field, cut it down. He almost ran it back. So you look at that, and then you look at the play where we take the ball down the field from about 40 yards, score a touchdown, cut it to 3. We had all the momentum. So what do? They just man up and make a drive, 80 yards. Kowaliga smoked 3rd and 1. We had him going backwards, and he just found a way to make a play. We did it all the time with Tyree Gray. He just found a way to make a play sometimes when there was nothing there. So I credit Wetumpka. They're very good. I said it the other night. I don't know because I wasn't there, obviously, but I'm not sure that Wetumpka's coaching staff didn't cost them a football game at Opelika. They lost by 1 point. They scored a touchdown. They went for 2 instead of kicking an extra point. They lost by a point on a touchdown earlier in the game because they don't feel real good about their special teams. That's fine, but we saw last night they're good enough to kick extra points. Should have kicked that extra point at least. I would have walked out of the stadium as a Wetumpka fan saying, okay, we just missed the next point. We didn't execute, whatever. But when you go for 2 like that and you leave it out there on the table for a team like Opelika to kick a field goal and beat you, that's what happens normally.
Well, you can also watch last night, Brett, and see a reason that how many times did we tackle Smoke for a negative play?
Never. I don't think he ever went backwards. And even when we guessed right and we had him at the line of scrimmage, it took 2 or 3 guys to pull him down. He goes forward. Man, just tip your hat sometimes to guys. They're just good. And last night they showed up when it mattered, and they made plays when it mattered.
Their quarterback who was injured last week against Opelika came back last night. He did not start the football game, but he was out there in the second series, and he can make plays. And I couldn't imagine him full speed, Brett, as dynamic as he looked last night. This is a Wetumpka team that's got a great opportunity to make a deep run in the playoffs. They're going to be as athletic as anybody they'll play on the Class 6A side. For Benjamin Russell, maybe a good matchup set up there in the first round, as we'll finish second in the region from all indications, how that all played out and how out-of-region opponents played out, and we still got an out-of-region opponent still to play as the season moves on. I don't know exactly how that works, but it looks like Benjamin Russell will be second in the region. They'll have Saraland, who we've already seen a couple of years ago with that 2015 class having to take on Saraland there in the first round. Jack West was their quarterback then as a sophomore. He'll be their quarterback now as a senior, a Stanford commit that should be coming into the Sportsplex here in a couple of weeks. Maybe a good matchup for the Wildcats.
Maybe it is. Let's go to the phone lines and take this caller. Caller, go ahead. You're on Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown.
Yes, guys. How y'all doing? This is Jerome. I just want to say I went to a very good ball game last night, too, down in Lynette and Lafayette. And Lafayette hung in there with Lynette. But early in it was like 22-16 Lynette. And Lafayette was driving. And when you turn the ball over about 5 times, or almost 6, I think they done it about 6 times, but anyway, when you turn the ball over that many times and give Lynette a chance, they'll smoke you every time. I mean, that's what happened to Lynette last year when Lafayette played them. Lynette turned the ball over about 7 times last year, and Lafayette beat them like 60-something to whatever. But anyway, the final score last night was 43-16, and it early in the fourth quarter when Lafayette was driving. They were down on the 4-yard line. And they started mine. I'd like to see the status of the thing because I don't think we done. They played good ball. I mean, we hung in there with Lynette, but Lynette was just that good almost. I mean, they was a good team, but Lafayette should have got that game. But anyway, I know we'll be home on the first round of playoffs. I don't know who's going to play, but it was a rematch. Lafayette and Lynette was a rematch from last year, so Lynette is the Region 5 2A champ. But I mean, anyway, but I just want to say y'all do a great job, and I'm proud for Ben Russ, even though they didn't win. But you know, this game Friday night, and then this next Friday night, Ben Russ got tough opponents anyway. So I mean, if you win, you be good, you know, for the team. But I mean, anyway, y'all do a great job, and I listen to y'all. And I always say, everybody have a good weekend, and we'll holler at y'all later, buddy.
Thank you, Jerome. Appreciate it. We have, Lynette, Lafayette rivals. They're right up the road from each other. 42-16 final last night for Lynette.
Lynette's, if there's a team much better in 2A, I'd have to see them.
There is.
This is a really strong classification. You saw Fife early in the season.
Yeah, but they're good.
Fife got run out of the gym by Maplesville, didn't they?
And Maplesville run a lot of people.
I'd like to see Lynette, though, with their quarterback play and their offense and see how they can match up against a team that's very well coached like Fife that's been in the thick of things for at least 3 or 4 years playing for state championships.
They're number 2 for a reason.
It could be their year here in this part of the state.
Well, we know we can get it done on the hard court. There ain't no doubt.
Just saw that they had one of their centers sign with yesterday. I'll pull that up here for the next segment, but I noticed that last night. 6'8", 6'9" center that they've got. They got a lot of length on that team.
6'8" at least. Phenomenal players. I mean, the whole team. Caller, go ahead. You're on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Hey, guys. It's Luke. How's it going?
What's up?
Good, Luke.
I don't know what y'all's weather is like, but I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and it's about 38 degrees and raining pretty hard, so we're going to have a pretty interesting Penn State-Ohio State game today.
You going to the game today, Luke?
I'm not going to the game now. Mary Sanders got a couple of soccer games we're going to go to, so we're going to have to be out in the elements, but for different reasons altogether.
I was going to say, that still would be fun to be out there in that, watching soccer.
Well, Luke, while you're talking about that, just break it down a little bit for us. So we'll move into that Ohio State and Penn State matchup. Weather conditions, you would guess, are going to play a key role in today's game.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I'll tell you, my hotel is chock full of Penn State folks. I was talking to them on a couple of them on the elevator on the way down and just told them I'm from Alabama, an Alabama fan, and I wish that we had played them instead of Washington last year. I said I thought it would have made the scene a lot more electric because they are starved for a championship appearance. I can just tell you they are fired up. They believe they're going to win today. Now, I think Las Vegas and most other people believe in Ohio State, but I'm not going to put a lot past this Penn State team right now. Yeah, I picked Ohio State in the paper and all that, but Saquon Barkley's got a bit of an it factor to him, and I'm certainly pulling for them because I do want to see Penn State in the playoffs. And not because I think they're easy competition, nothing like that. I just think it makes the scene more dramatic and it gives it a little bit more electricity. And they just have a very passionate fan base. I mean, they're very much like folks from Alabama. I mean, this football is their thing. I actually am driving to State College, Pennsylvania for work on Monday, so I'll get to be there firsthand. I hope it's a vibrant scene after a big win today.
Luke, before we let you go, I'm just interested in your thoughts on this Jay Jacobs saga on the Auburn front. I know that you may be a Bama fan, but if any of you out there think that anybody watches more Auburn shows than Luke Robinson, you are ill-advised, my friend. He watches more than Brett and I both do. Your thoughts, though, it looked like yesterday that would be the end of Jay Jacobs' tenure there at Auburn. At least that was all indications. And you move on into the night, no news comes out. So he holds on to his job. Just your feelings.
I mean, I think their cat's wondering how many lives Jay Jacobs has because I've heard the rumor about his demise for, several weeks, if not months now. And every time it's like, on Friday, is when it's going to happen, because that's when Auburn loves to do a news dump, and they love to drop some bad news or something they don't necessarily want discussed too much on a Friday, just like everybody does. Because if you do it on Friday afternoon, well, you roll into high school football and then college football, and then by the time Sunday rolls around, you're third-page news. So I'm a little shocked it didn't happen yesterday. I assume it didn't happen yesterday. I hadn't seen anything. I mean, it's sort of a minute-by-minute thing. But, yeah, and I've heard all the accolades with Jay Jacobs has brought this many titles and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, he's brought some titles for swimming. And I guess if you're playing in it, you want to win it. But he also is credited by some folks as being the reason that Auburn swimming has taken a bit of a dive, no pun intended. It's gone backwards of late. I mean, those championships came a while back. I guess if you want to count equestrian titles under his regime, I mean, go ahead, feel free. But in the end, I don't think there's an athletic director in the country, at least for a Power 6 school, Power 5 school, that is judged by swimming and diving and equestrian championships. I think you're judged by how your teams do in the Big Three, and specifically the Big One. If you're Kentucky or North Carolina or Duke, maybe you're judged by basketball. But, you know, the other things he's done, he took a chance on Bruce Pearl, and I was behind it. Y'all know that I said I thought Alabama and Auburn should take a chance on Bruce Pearl. But if this saga unfolding with Chuck Person unfolds in any way that Bruce Pearl had anything to do with it, that gamble's not going to pay off for it. So, and Bruce Pearl hadn't brought even so much as an NIT appearance yet. So, I mean, some of the gambles that he took on the surface look good, getting the crew, the Myers crew over from Arizona State, that looked like a big coup. But getting Galloway from Oklahoma initially looked like a big coup. But some of these things have come back to bite him in the butt. And eventually you've got to say it's not coincidence anymore. I mean, there's a problem with his vetting process. So, look, I think Auburn probably should have let him go a while back. That's not the way some people there want to handle it. And those people apparently wield a lot of power. I don't know how Jay Jacobs has survived. I'll be quite honest with you. If this were Survivor, like the show Survivor, he'd be the guy on the island that everybody hated from day one, and then at the season finale, it's down to him and somebody else. And you're like, how did he get this far? How did he even come to this? Yet there he is standing to win $1 million. And in his case, I guess he's probably got a golden parachute worth a lot more than that. So I'll give him credit, man. He is a survivor in every sense of the word. So got to give him a credit for that. And also, before I go, I'm so thankful that remotely I was able to record the Hoover-Thompson game on my television, because that game sounded like it was absolutely incredible. I can't wait to get home and watch it.
Sounds like it was, Luke. Thank you so much, buddy, and we're going to talk about that in the upcoming segments. Big win for Thompson, first time in school history they're able to take down Hoover. Have a good trip, buddy. Look forward to seeing you back.
All right, guys, bye.
We'll close out another segment right here, Brett, as Thompson did defeat Hoover last night, 32-25. It was a late heroic by their offense, moving 98 yards to put a score on the board as they trailed 25-24 after a pick six by Hoover to go ahead in that football game. How many Thompson fans or how many of the faithful out there felt like a Thompson team who was 0-20 historically against Hoover would go 98 yards for a touchdown? That's a storyline, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Probably felt like when that pick six happened, it was the same old, same old. You know, no matter how good we are this year, it just seems like Hoover's got our number forever. But, hey, they made the play, and congratulations. We'll run down those scores. I know we got to get the break here. 15
straight wins for Hoover in state before that loss last night, Brett. You mentioned that during the broadcast last night. Big win for Thompson. We'll talk about that and many more here. Go ahead and take another break here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown.
Ask what makes it the best 3 Series ever, and we'll tell you it has more advanced suspension and steering for even more control of the road. And it's near perfectly balanced to put performance first. But ask if we're aware the competition mimics us just to keep up? No comment. The BMW 3 Series.
Visit BMW of Columbus on Whittlesey Boulevard or shop bmwofcolumbus.com.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937. 866-837-6937. Or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
TPE Power Equipment is now the trusted name for all your mower and power equipment needs. Whether it's our original Tallahassee location or Opelika location on Fredericks Road, we've got East Alabama covered with the best brands of mowers and power equipment from Husqvarna, Toro, Kawasaki, Echo, and Honda. Right now, get commercial strength Husqvarna zero-turn mowers with our fleet program that offers deep discounts, easy finance, and bonus handheld equipment in one solid package. TPE of Opelika and Tallahassee are the new standard of everything power equipment in East Alabama.
Lake Area Realty is Lake Martin's Century 21 real estate company that proudly serves all the Lake Martin area. Rhonda Gaskin and her staff of caring professional realtors offers full sales for buyers and sellers in the area and can even help you with finding rentals or managing your current property. Whether it's your dream lake home, waterfront property, area family home in town, or just a starter home, Lake Area Realty can handle it all and advise you on all your needs. Buying and selling real estate is important to the professionals at Century 21. Lake Area Realty are your friends in real estate. Call or visit lakearearealty.net.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Farnell Mechanical gives you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable.
Trust Farnell Mechanical to provide perfect air for your family.
What perfect feels like. Lennox.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime at the all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Every new and pre-owned vehicle, just $1 down. Plus credit amnesty. Bring home $350 a week, get up to $30,000 in credit.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime.
10 acres, 1,000 vehicles, just $1 down.
Folks, you've just got to see this place.
The all-new Opelika Ford and Opelika Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Call 800-NEXT-RIDE.
Worked out great for both teams.
Welcome back into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. I'm Randy Lee alongside Brett Pritchard. We'll take your phone calls this morning, 256-234-6221. Our first hour of the program, we kind of stick with high school sports. Second hour, we usually move into Auburn and Alabama as the main topic, but with an off week this week, we'll bounce all around, especially with the World Series going on, as good a series as that's looking like. Let's hit on a couple of games, Brett. We've already talked about Thompson and Hoover. It's 32-25.
Yep.
Other games that kind of jump out at you. Five to 7, Brett, with Kenny King coaching that team defensively the way that they are, not a team that you want to match up with in the playoffs at any point, is it?
No. But let me tell you what is setting up right there. Opelika Daphne first round. That's what's setting up. Because they're going to be the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Opelika's going to be the number 3 seed.
Opelika on the road down there.
Now, it's going to be tough for Opelika. I mean, you only go back and say one thing. You can have a hiccup somewhere along the way and have a really good football team. And, man, it not draw out real good for you in the playoffs. I mean, you get a 3 seed a lot of times, you're a lot better than the 3 seed shows because of the region you play in. And then a 2 seed who's really been right there on the cusp of being the 1 seed has to get a 3 like Opelika come to your home. You're like, man, gee, thanks. You know, appreciate that. That's just the way it draws out sometimes.
Well, I'll spin it this way. Daphne's Coach Vickery loses his job down there following a debacle against Opelika 3 years ago.
Yep.
Opelika had them 40-something to nothing at half, Brett.
Mm-hmm.
Remember watching that one during
The program had really just kind of fallen off.
It had bottomed out, and Opelika was really, really good that year, and one of the better Opelika teams that we've seen offensively. And I remember going, man, what in the world's happened? And it's only taken Kenny King a couple of years to get this team back. And yes, that is Kenny King, that was the ex-defensive lineman for Alabama, that was a standout at Daphne for Coach Steve Savarese back in the late 90s. He has got them playing physical football, and I'll promise you, if you go watch them, they're going to be one athlete after another on the defensive side of the ball. I can just see them in my eyes from some of those teams we've called state championship games.
And they seem to be scoring more points as the year goes on. You know, they struggled offensively. That's not what their strong suit is. It's kind of like Benjamin Russell. Benjamin Russell sputtered on offense several times this year, but, you know, you hang your hat on defense. You know, the Wildcats held Wetumpka down last night to their second lowest point total all year. But going back to this Daphne and Opelika situation, in that region down there, Baldwin County is going to finish 7-3 and not even go to the playoffs. I mean, just is what it is. I mean, there are some things. There's no perfect system to playoffs. Somebody's always going to get left out of something, and it's unfair. And there's going to be some times where you look down and go, man, that 3-win team made the playoff. Wouldn't you much rather see a Baldwin County get in there? They deserved it more. I don't know how you fix that unless you put a stickler on there that says if you don't have a winning record, or if you don't have a winning record in this or whatever, then you're ineligible to make the playoffs, and then it gravitates over to a school that does. But then you get into, well, they played a lot of, you know, cheap teams, and they got some cheap wins to build the record. It's the system we have. It's not perfect. It's what we got to stick with.
Tough loss last night for the Dadeville Tigers, 48-14 to Childersburg. I don't think any of us expected that one. And 3 weeks ago, we've got Kadori Glenn coming off back-to-back 200-plus yard performances.
A couple of 300-plus performances
really
in there.
Outstanding running back for Dadeville, but tip your hat, Childersburg. Childersburg has had a little comeuppance here in the last 3 or 4 years of their football program, haven't they, Brett?
Let me make an analysis here, and I think I'm going to be fair in what I'm saying. Dadeville started off the year. They lost some games that they felt like they could have won. Randy, you and I watched it firsthand last year with Benjamin Russell, and I don't think I'm offending anybody by saying that we mailed it in against Beauregard last year. I never thought I'd see what I saw last year in a Beauregard. You said it on the broadcast last night. You were disgusted in the way our body language was and the way we were playing that game. We'd never seen that happen. Coach Horn was upset about it. He said it in all his years of coaching. It was one of the most disappointing performances of any team. Shows you from year to year how things can change. Childersburg, this game, Randy, was to make it to the playoffs, to get the 4 seed. This was what that was, a battle for. And I looked at that score, and I hadn't seen Dadeville get beat 48-14 by anybody out there in the past few years. I hadn't seen it. Maybe Kevin Keel could call in. Maybe he can say, I'll talk to Kevin. But from the sounds of it, it seems like that this Dadeville football team may have packed it in, maybe even before last week. So that's unfortunate. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the team chemistry just isn't there for you. But I can just tell you that I can't remember ever looking down and seeing, and no offense to Childersburg, but especially, teams that Dadeville has been notorious for beating year in and year out, come in and beat them 48-14.
A team that is peaking here as we close out the high school football season seems to be Reeltown. Reeltown takes down Fayetteville 55-0. They got a big back there in the backfield that's really playing well as they close out the season. And when Reeltown can get a back going and they're moving into the playoffs, it's not a matchup that you want.
Reeltown dropped off for a couple of years. But just like any good program that goes in a down cycle, they quickly get it back. They've got a new coach down there that replaces a Hall of Fame coach in Jackie O'Neill. So it's hard to kind of step in sometimes for that. They're establishing their own type of philosophy down there now, and it's not hard that Reeltown has always been that grinded out power team. and they're getting back to that. And you're seeing success, and you're seeing a team that's getting stronger, that's going to be really good next year, that's going to carry this over into 2018.
Really good football team here in Tallapoosa County is Tallahassee. The Tallahassee Tigers, 34, Elmore County, 10. A team that's got a good chance in Class 4A, Brett, and you've got a lot of good friends over there, as I do, to move on and have a good run here in the Class 4A playoffs.
And I back that statement up, what you just said, by the result of last week's game, the Leeds game. For forever, Tallahassee's been a team that's kind of been on the cusp right there, and then they get up against a Leeds or some type of team like that, and they get beat 2 or 3 touchdowns. Well, that wasn't the case last week. They thumped Leeds, and so they established themselves as a top tier team in their classification. And I feel like Tallahassee could, if they get a break or two, and you got to have a break or two in the playoffs, they can be right there at the very end, maybe in the semifinals, making a push to try to get to Tuscaloosa.
They're a great sports town, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. They love it.
You know, we're close by, but we don't play one another in football very often. And so you get caught up, and we're over here in Elliott City, and you don't see each other enough to talk a lot about it. But in every sport, from wrestling to baseball to basketball, a competitive community, and I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing with Tallahassee and the way that they're growing their community, and watch out for them as the years move on.
Absolutely, and definitely watch out for the Tallahassee Tigers, Randy. I think we need to get out.
Yeah, up against the break. The last score here in the local region, Central Clay County takes down Talladega 41-6 as they move into the Class 5A playoffs. 256-234-6221. A couple of more segments here on the High School Blitz, but we'll start talking about anything on your mind as we move forward. Thank you all for finding us on Facebook Live with our Sports Blitz programming, as well as Auburn Blitz throughout the week from 12 to 1, Monday through Friday. More Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
If you've been putting off that new heating and air unit in your home because of the upfront expenses, Williams Plumbing of Alexander City now has primary financing from Synchrony and can now install brand new heating and cooling systems with zero down, longer terms, and a competitive rate. Call Williams Plumbing at 256-329-8488 and get a free quote and terms and upgrade up to $35,000 in work with approved credit. Williams Plumbing stands behind their work with on-time affordable service for all your heating and air needs, as well as plumbing for zero down financing and great service. Williams Plumbing.
When enjoying the lake this season, make sure to drop by Harbor Point Marina for all your gas, snacks, boating supplies, and beverage needs. Harbor Point also wants you to come see our remaining 2017 Crest pontoons, priced to move at all-season pricing. Harbor Point Crest sales have been tremendous, and they're ready to unload their remaining 2017 Crest Tri-Tunes to make way for the 2018 order. Come see the best in pontoons at our 2017 season closeout prices. Act now because inventory is limited, and enjoy your new Crest pontoon this year. For all your own water needs and sacrifice pricing on Crest pontoons, get to the point. Harbor Point at Still Waters on Lake Martin.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you. Gotta get to Gills. Selection and price. Gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
Bills Electric is your local expert for LED lighting retrofits for commercial and industrial applications. Bills Electric can survey your facility and develop lighting retrofit solutions utilizing the latest in LED technology and controls. In many cases, energy savings alone can generate a payback of 2 years or less. Additionally, LED lighting has an expected lifespan of up to 100,000 hours. Call the Lamborns today at 256-234-4555.
At A&M Plumbing, you can count on us for dependable, quality service. Our staff is professional, neat, clean, and courteous. We're a fully licensed and insured plumbing company. Call on A&M Plumbing for any plumbing, sewer, or septic problems. We provide a comprehensive line of plumbing repair and installation services to keep your home's plumbing systems in top order. When you need plumbing service, call on the professionals at A&M Plumbing. Service at its best, when you need it most.
We love football season. Don't pass on these deals.
Drive a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab 4x2 Express for $289 down, $289 a month during Ram Power Days at Vice Motors.
Score big and save all season long.
Lease the all-new redesigned 2017 Jeep Compass Latitude for just $149 a month.
Drive in for the savings. Drive out with the win.
Come see us in Alex City. ViceChryslerDodge.com.
Welcome back into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. About an hour and 20 minutes left here in this Saturday's program as we'll be with you until 9 o'clock. Love to take your phone calls, 256-234-6221. Had a couple of messages out there that Facebook Live, we don't have audio going through. We're trying to correct that currently, so thanks for finding us out there.
I mean, people don't like to read lips.
Yeah.
I mean, we were trying to test out here, and we were trying to get to see if people could read what we were saying.
The only team that we haven't hit on here locally is Horseshoe Bend, who was defeated by Woodland last night, 29-19, and one more game for Horseshoe Bend. Is it a 2-win season or 3 wins so far, Brett?
Yeah, they defeated Donahoe 18-3. Defeated B.B. Comer 34-10, and then they were able to defeat Fayetteville 43-8. So it was a three-win season for them.
They'll close out the season at Wadley.
Yeah, and that's not where you want to close out the year.
That's a team that we haven't brought up here recently, but Wadley in Class 1A has been knocking on the door the last few years. Just can't get through that semifinal round, can they?
They can't. They're very talented, and we know through some people that we've talked to about Wadley. I actually went up there last year, met one of their receivers that's a senior this year, is a phenomenal athlete. Saw some film on him. He's the real deal. Wadley is a team that has a guy up there in Terrell Zachary that was he played there, went on to Auburn, played for a national championship in 2010. He's gotten back there, and you see that a lot in small communities. Some of these bigger name guys that come back home, those kids relate to them. They look up to them. They remember them. And Terrell on that staff really has done a great job up there with Wadley. And, man, they're as good as anybody in that classification. They really are. And it's, again, you get in the playoffs, you got to have a break. They lost last year basically on the goal line on a 2-point conversion, trying to score to try to win the game to move on, and it didn't work out. Maybe that play goes their way this year.
Pull up playoff bracket, Brett, and let's try to kind of run down the preliminary playoff bracket. If you're a Wildcat fan, we said a couple of segments ago, it looks like a matchup in the first round against a Saraland team coming out of the South, led by Jack West at quarterback, who will move on to play for Stanford. Following this season, a big kid, 6'5", 220 pounds, can deliver the football all over the field. This is a Saraland team that will be coming back up to Alexander City looking for revenge from a really tough defeat a few years ago, upper 40s to 10, and they scored that touchdown in the last minute. It was, what was the final score of that game? It was 48-10.
Something along those lines.
It was a Tyree Gray show, and it was a defensive show from the Wildcats. I remember Jacob Rogers playing outstanding with Velas Jones, who's moved on to USC, and we couldn't have played much better than we did that night. That's one that sticks out in my mind over the Danny Horn tenure, where I go, guy. If we could play any better than that, I'd have to see it.
You got that right. I mean, that's probably the best game overall, and I think Coach Horn will tell you that's the best game since he's been the head coach at Ben Russell.
256-234-6221 is our phone number mentioned there in the opening segment. The Astros go out to a 2-1 lead now, swinging the bat early, knock out Darvish there in about an inning and a third last night, if I'm right.
Yeah,
I was hearing it up in the press box.
Didn't make it through 2 innings.
And so far the Astros, after Clayton Kershaw and the ace holding them down and striking out 10 through 83 pitches there in the opening game. You think you see Kershaw come back? I was going
to ask you why. I mean, he's scheduled to pitch Game 5. I mean, I don't I don't know what bringing him back. I think that really puts you in jeopardy of losing that game, of bringing him back early. I mean, Houston hadn't lost in the playoffs at home. I don't think they're going to lose tonight. And and I think even I said this last night in the booth to some of you guys. I think even with Kershaw on the mound out there in Houston, it's going to be 50-50. That place is hard. Kendall talked about it. He said, "Man, that place is loud," and he said it's an intimidating venue to play in, and Houston's just on fire right now. And I think when L.A. lost that game too, the way they lost it, and they didn't finish it out, that sparked this Houston team going home with 3 games. I'm not sure we go back to L.A. for this World Series. I think L.A. may be capable of winning 1 game and getting it back to L.A., but they're going to have to scrap one out. So whether Kershaw goes in Game 4 or Game 5, to me, it's apples to apples. I mean, you get a win in Game 4 or you get a win in Game 5. I think regardless, Houston wins 2 out of 3. The best L.A.'s going to do is come out of here with 1.
All right, devil's advocate. Last night, Darvish doesn't get through the second.
That's right.
You have to go deep into your middle relief in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those guys that have been mainstays, they're not going to come back for a couple of days,
that's
a couple
right.
of games.
Good point.
So that's the reason that I would think
maybe.
that you look at a Kershaw that you're able to pull after 83 pitches. 83 pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't look like he was laboring at all.
Mm-mm.
Do you pull him back and try to get this thing mentally, knot this thing up at 2, knowing that you're going to go back to L.A. for at least a ball game?
Well, that's why they get paid a lot of money.
It's true.
Make those decisions. And that is something that L.A.'s going to have to ponder and maybe pull out. And here's the bad thing about it. You bring Kershaw out there tonight and somehow Houston's able to knock him out of the game and they win that game, you might as well just go and pack your bags.
Off week for Auburn and Alabama. Could you ask for a better sporting day than this, though?
No.
You're going to get all the interest that you want over with the largest cocktail party and seeing if Florida can somehow pull off the coup against the Georgia team.
This year, buddy.
I said that a few years ago when they had that little quarterback that couldn't throw it around a lick, and somehow that was a terrible Florida team that defeated Georgia that year.
I think it's more Georgia's mentality that's gotten the better of them the last few years. This is a different Georgia team. That Florida team is horrendous on offense.
True.
They can't find 14 points. They can't find 14 points. And this Georgia team, look, if it's time for Georgia to – look, this is their Achilles heel. Georgia is scared to death of those blue jerseys. Let's just be honest about it. And obviously Auburn's scared of a lot of colors.
Mainly red and black.
Red and black. And so it's a mindset. And when they go out on the field, maybe Georgia this year goes, I don't care what they're wearing. I don't care if they're wearing pink. We're coming out there and we're going to dominate you because we know you ain't any good and we're really good. And so we'll see how that plays out. But, hey, man, like you said, I wouldn't have thought at all that Will Muschamp-led Florida team had a chance to win that game, and they killed Georgia.
Then you got Penn State, Ohio State. Then you get a nightcap with an 8 o'clock first pitch, Major League Baseball. Can you ask for much better?
They're tabbing it on Fox the best sports day ever because they got it.
Are they?
Oh, yeah, that's been their promo.
Well, I haven't. Know I hadn't watched ETV.
Well, obviously, I don't know what I've watched. I mean, because when I can grab a second of sleep here and there, I take advantage of it.
Let's go ahead and take another break, Brett. When we come back, we'll try to run down and find the released playoff bracket that we can see real quick before we go to break.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up right now.
Tell me how the tiebreaker works. It's out of region, though.
It's out of region.
And if you have an out of region game still on tab, how in the world would you know out of region?
Unless the team's already got a. Here's one way to look at it. You look at like Benjamin Russell and Wetumpka. They haven't lost a region game, and who do they play Friday night?
Who? Wetumpka? No clue.
Yeah, I don't think it's anybody any good. I mean, I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I need to go back and look. But I think it's kind of like, okay, you just got to go take care of business. Well, Ben Russell's got Beauregard, and Ben Russell's already lost a non-region game. So
I'm talking about Benjamin Russell and Opelika.
Yeah, Opelika has lost to.
They've lost 2 out-of-region games. They've lost to Phoenix City and Auburn, and they've lost to us.
Then it goes to non-region opponents' records after that.
My, oh, my.
So
how in the world would Opelika not be in good shape when their non-region opponents are Phoenix City and Auburn, who've lost a combined 1 ball game to Phoenix City and Auburn on the season?
Coach Savarese was at the quarterback club meeting at Benjamin Russell this week, and he and Alvin Briggs kind of laid it out. And everything that I've been told by everybody this week is that Benjamin Russell would finish second.
I still would like to get you a correct answer to this because it's just not making clear sense in my head how we still have a non-region opponent and you have to match up or figure out what the non-region means. So we'll try to dig a little bit. But if you know out there, we know some of you parents.
Why has it got to be this tough? I mean, every year we don't even know how to look at the bracket and tell you where everybody's going.
Well, how else do you do it? When you're in a region like us, Brett, I know we're up against the break. When you're in a region like us and you all beat each other, 1 game, you got to have something to go off of. So what do you go off of? Do you go off point totals in region games? Point separation in region games?
I think that's what it comes down to.
And if it comes down to that, if it comes down to that and that was and Benjamin Russell holds the tiebreaker there, then maybe that is the case. And then you don't have to go to non-region opponents unless that's a tie.
Yeah.
We'll try to get you an answer on that. 256-234-6221. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Do not buy a car this week
until you check out Hyundai of Auburn.
Max trade value, max savings,
my max markdowns,
max credit union and other lenders ready to approve with the max warranty.
America's Best, 10 years.
When we deal, we pay off your trade no matter what you owe.
And like Christmas, it's just once a year.
And only one place, Hyundai of Auburn.
Get down here today.
This segment of Sports Blitz is brought to you by Satterfield on Highway 280 in Alex City. Satterfield is the Lake Martin area's big green egg and accessories headquarters.
All right, I think we're getting a little closer to this tiebreaker in region matchups. It looks like you're taking into account total wins for your non-region opponents that you beat. Is that right?
That's it.
If you beat a non-region opponent and they have 6 wins or 8 wins, then you've got 14 total wins out of non-region opponents. So if you look at that with Wetumpka and Opelika and Benjamin Russell, we'll try to pull that up. But you're still going into a non-region opponent week where Opelika doesn't have another football game, so they can't add.
They're done. They're open. Their non-region games are Auburn, which they can't count that one. Phoenix City, they can't count that. And the other one would be, I don't see another non-region game. Smith Station. They did win that one. But Smith Station ain't won a game. I don't think they've scored much more than about 25 points all year. I'm not being funny. That's serious. So I think Ben Russell has number 2 seed.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, and
I was told that.
Michael, I'm 40 this past week. The odds of me reading any of that's on that screen from where I am is negative.
You can't read it, but the people at home can probably read it.
Okay, well, can you read it?
Man, it looks like some type of Egyptian hieroglyphics, man, from here.
So the Wildcats' non-region opponent victories would be against Minor and Clay County. Central Clay.
That's right.
And Central Clay has won.
Well, I think they won at least 6.
And then Miners won 4 ball games.
Yeah, so it's 10.
So that's 10, and then you've got.
Boy, if you were some way to beat Beauregard, you may win the thing.
Well, if you beat Beauregard, that gets to 19, and
right.
You could win it, depending on Wetumpka, and we'll have to look at their out-of-region win.
I'll pull up Wetumpka's information here.
It's a pretty fair way to do it, Brett.
You really think so? I was kind of sitting here scratching my head going.
You know why I think it's fair? You can only take into account the ones you beat.
Well,
so you can't just go out there and get run off the field by a team that goes 10-0 and take into account those 10 wins.
And I'll tell you another thing too. It does, and when you schedule a weak team,
it hurts you.
It kills you.
Or when you can't get a scheduled game, like Opelika this week, only going to play 9 football games.
That's right. Well, did they play 9 or do they have 10? This is their off week.
Okay, so they played that opening season.
They played 10.
I got you.
Wetumpka, their non-regions are Prattville. They won, but Prattville is
maybe 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah, maybe. They're not very good. Let's see, Eufaula.
Good football team. Pretty good football team, probably 6-7 victories.
Yeah, and that's different than what it has been. Usually they've been getting blown
Last
out.
year I think they came back to life.
And then look down through here, Greenville.
Pretty good football team.
Yeah.
Won 6 or 7 ball games.
So Greenville, let's just look at Eufaula's record. We'll look and see what Eufaula did this year. Eufaula right now has lost to 2 teams, Carroll, Ozark, and Wetumpka. So, they've
won 7 ball games.
Boy, they played some. They played some not so pretty teams, and then Greenville, one of their other ones.
Greenville defeated Beauregard earlier in the season.
They did, but Greenville's lost 4, and they got McAdor coming up next week. So
that's not a good matchup for them. So they've won 4 ball games.
They've won 4. No. They've lost 4.
Okay, they've won 5.
Well, they've won 4. They won Booker T, Headland, Rehoboth, and Beauregard, and they had 2 open dates.
Okay, so they've won 4, so that gets them to 11. And what we're trying to do here, if you're just now tuning in,
math session, guys.
Non-region opponents' victories. If you defeated that non-region team,
counts
for the tiebreaker.
Did you get Eufaula's?
I got Eufaula at 7. I've got Greenville at 4.
4, and they're probably going to stay at 4. And then the other one was...
This is the tiebreaker for the region championship if all teams are knotted up.
So we're looking at Prattville now. And we'll pull up what they've done. And Prattville is...
And 1 many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got 5 losses and 3 wins. And they play Sidney Lanier this week, and that's probably going to be a L. So
we're talking 14 victories for non-region opponents for Wetumpka. And the Wildcats currently with non-region victories is sitting at 10, I believe.
We'll pull it up just to make sure.
And that's the tiebreaker out there. It's non-region opponents. You have to defeat them, and then you take into account their wins for the season. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Got to get to the top. Right. Yeah, got to go to the top hour break. When we come back, we'll have all Benjamin Russell's non-region.
256-234-6221. If you got any other questions out there, please let us know. Find us on Facebook Live. Facebook Live, a great opportunity for you to get it. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
At U.S. AmeriBank, there's something very different at the heart of what we do and who we are. It's a spirit that also defines our neighbors, local businesses, and communities. Building on our 116-year history in Alabama, U.S. AmeriBank provides something found nowhere else: craft banking. It's an unwavering commitment to handcrafted banking solutions that turns customers into enthusiastic fans. Visit usameribank.com or your local branch to discover the U.S. AmeriBank difference. U.S. AmeriBank. Banking on values. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control company for a generation, and now we're proud to announce our new name, EnviroCare. You can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs, and EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system that provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. The EnviroCare Centricon termite protection protects your home year-round. Call the professionals of EnviroCare throughout Central East Alabama. Call for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
A1 Four Seasons, a division of Jackson Refrigeration, is Central Alabama's Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer. With the summer months approaching, the temperatures are rising, and so will your power bill if you don't have one of the latest 410A heat pumps. With R22 Freon prices on the rise, now is the time to make the switch to a new, more efficient unit that will save you hundreds of dollars on your yearly power bill. Call A1 Four Seasons at 256-234-4457.
What's behind the CA?
A world full of opportunities.
Where are you now? Where are you going?
Where do you want to be?
These are all important in determining your path in life.
More importantly, why be ordinary
when you can be extraordinary?
At Central Alabama Community College, you can be anything you wish to be.
Don't put your future on hold, and don't settle for less than excellence.
We are Central Alabama Community College.
Central to you.
Central to your success.
And I know when I need it, I can count on you. Like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh.
You can count on the caring team at Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation. Our services include physical, speech, and occupational therapy. Brown Nursing and Rehabilitation, 256-329-9061.
Jocks Preps for doing a great job of after Week 9 bracketology is where we're getting our information out there. We listen to a lot of Jocks programming throughout the week and enjoy that, Brett, as we're trying to break down this non-region opponent setup if you have a tiebreaker. And we think we got it clear right now, and it looks like that if Wetumpka's non-region opponents that should win next week, and there's a couple of them that would be a huge upset. If they lost, they will be the region champion here in our region based off of those. It's non-region opponents, but you've got to defeat the team, and if you defeated the non-region opponent, you take into account how many victories that team had. It's a nice setup for Wetumpka right now as they've got some teams.
Eufaula helped them this year.
Yeah.
Eufaula was the thing that tipped them over because in Minor last year dominated, and Minor had a down year. And Eufaula had an up year, and it swung it. Now Benjamin Russell still has a chance to play Beauregard, who that would give Benjamin Russell 7 wins there to credit in their non-region wins. You don't get to count them if you lose. Obviously, that's part of it. That's why you said that you like the way this is set up, and I do too, from the standpoint that if you lose, you don't get to count it. But it also credits you if you go out and schedule tough teams. You get credit for it. You schedule weak teams. You get the win, but that's all you get. You get no credit in the tiebreaker. Yeah. So let's go through 6A as it sits today, and there's some red on there, which means it's pretty much looking like it's going to be locked in. Going to be Benjamin Russell hosting Saraland in the first round of the playoffs. They're in the same bracket with Stanhope, Elmore, and Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa. So Hillcrest would be the number 1 seed there out of Region 4. They take on Stanhope, Elmore, and if you're thinking things hold, it would be Hillcrest and Ben Russell in the second round. Benjamin Russell travel to Hillcrest. It looks like Daphne and Opelika open up round 1.
Who knows?
And the winner of that game plays the winner of Bessemer City Park Crossing. So down in the bottom side on this side, it's you go on down Carver, Montgomery, and McAdor in round 1, Blunt and Wetumpka in round 1. So, man, that's athletes galore out there. That's like a daggum scouting combine on the field. Paul Bryant and Sidney Lanier and Pelham at Spanish Fort. Good luck going down to that place. That's all I can tell you. Shades Valley, Pale City. On the other side, Carver, Birmingham, Austin. This is the north side of the bracket. Carver, Birmingham, Austin. Carver, Birmingham, not terrible. Not up to Austin's level by no means. Coleman, Ramsey, Florence and Pinson Valley, Gardendale and Muscle Shoals, Hueytown and Oxford, Athens, Clay Chalkman, Fort Payne, Homewood. So
there's some good teams in the north this year, Brett.
Yeah, Oxford, Homewood.
Fort Payne's a good football team that Oxford they gave Oxford all they wanted. Week after we played them, didn't we?
Absolutely. So.
And we haven't even brought up Clay Chalk or Pinson Valley.
No.
That north side.
Loaded.
That north side's loaded. And Austin. I didn't say Austin.
I did.
Okay.
I said Austin and Carver, Birmingham, remember. I said Austin just like the class above. But North loaded. I mean, the North's got a lot of great teams up there. Bo Nix with Pinson Valley and Asa Martin at Austin. I mean, we saw what Oxford has, maybe the best offensive line in the state. Homewood, man, they're playing as good as anybody right now. So, but equally great teams in the South. This 6A, man, 6A top to bottom is probably the most competitive classification of all. I mean, you can't look up there and go, well, man, them 4 teams or those 5 teams. And there's 10 teams. There's 15 teams that can get in there and mix it up. That makes it more, as a whole, a better classification, in my opinion. 6A, even though with the establishment of 7A, 6A still is where the meat is on the bone in high school football, to me.
I agree. You've got some really top-tier teams in 7A that deserve to be playing against one another. They probably are quite a little bit of a step ahead. The Opelikas of the world and the Benjamin Russells of the world going up against Hoover.
That's right.
Come on. Every once in a while you can put a team together that can compete, but you're not going to do it year in and year out.
Let's look at 7A and let's look at 6A, the top 10. Phoenix City, 1, dominant. Hoover, 2, dominant. Thompson, 3, dominant. Hewitt-Trussville, 4, dominant. You get down to Auburn, yeah, they've, not recently, but yeah, this year they've made a push. But they're about where they need to be. And then from there, to me, I know Fairhope's 7-1, but is there anybody out there thinking Fairhope's going to could even stay on the field with those top 4 teams? Mountain Brook, they've already had their opportunity. Okay, they hadn't been able to do anything.
40-0 at one point against Thompson.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Bob Jones, I'm tired of hearing Bob Jones. I'm sorry. You know, every year, Bob Jones, they're the biggest school. Bob Jones, they've never won anything up there. They've had some good players, but they've never won anything.
A lot of basketball.
Yeah, but we ain't talking basketball. We talking football. Sparkman, 6-2. And then from there on, you got Spain Park, who Michael just said.
Oak Mountain beat them 29-3 last night. Oak Mountain's a team defensively, Brett, scares you.
Oh, yeah. Oak Mountain's, they'll play you to death, and it's a scary team. Then Davidson comes in at 5-3. Man, it just falls off. I mean, really quickly. The only reason you're in 7A is because of your enrollment. And so just based on numbers, yeah, you ought to put everybody closer with numbers, but the caliber of football team in 7A doesn't match up with what's in 6A. 6A, you got Austin, who's come out of nowhere, who's got maybe the best player in the state, Asa Martin. Okay, Oxford, best offensive lineman, maybe in the Southeast, and one of the best receivers in the country in a couple of years coming. Pinson Valley.
They got about 6 division.
Bo Nix. What else you got to say? Plus all the talent they got. I mean, Spanish Fort, my Lord. How many state championships you got to win before you can say I'm one of the best programs in the state? Homewood perennially, year in and year out. I know they've been down, but we have too. Look at who's 5-6 right there. Homewood, Ben Russell. Then you got a Clay Chalkville that played for a state championship a couple years ago. Park Crossing, Smitty Grider's got them playing phenomenal football. Wetumpka, we just saw that team. If they're number 9, I'll figure out something else to say that I can't say on this program. Opelika is 10. I wouldn't want to play them again or have them playing right now. You see what they're doing. They hit their stride last night against Pelham and just kind of ran them out of the building. Then you got Sidney Lanier. Who wants to line up and play them? Who wants to play Daphne coming in at 12? Then you got Hillcrest Tuscaloosa. Then you got Shades Valley. And then you got Muscle Shoals. I mean, 6A is loaded with good teams. And overall, as a program or as a classification, that's a tough program. I know we got to get the break.
Yeah, it definitely is. Go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll move into the College Blitz segment of the program and swing it around and talk some pros as well. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
So you want to build a home? Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile back splash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's Home Place.
We love football season.
Don't pass on these deals.
Drive a new 2017 Ram 1500 Quad Cab 4x2 Express for $289 down, $289 a month during Ram Power Days at Bice Motors.
Score big and save all season long.
Lease the all-new redesigned 2017 Jeep Compass Latitude for just $149 a month.
Drive in for the savings. Drive out with the win.
Come see us in Alex City. BiceChryslerDodge.com.
Now is the best time to see the good guys the locals know, Alex City Marine. With last year being our best year yet, Landau Pontoons has increased Alex City Marine's allocation of Landaus for the 17 season. Our Suzuki outboard selections are at an all-time high. Alex City Marine is now also Lake Martin's exclusive Manitou pontoon dealer with a full line of the luxurious Manitou Tri-Tune with patented V-Tune technology for top performance. Get the best selection now of Landau and Manitou pontoons. Alex City Marine, Lake Martin.
Whether it's a dream house or corporate real estate, Concrete has the skill, expertise, and talent to exceed your expectations. Trust Concrete to build a foundation for your future. Our work ethic and dedication are always in keeping the competition on their toes. We specialize in residential and commercial development in the Coosa, Talladega, and Shelby County areas. Call us today for your next project, 256-245-4211, or check us out on the web at con-crete.com.
There is a strength inside you, unknown and imperfect, waiting. And when you think you have nothing left to give, when each obstacle in your path is more formidable than the last, that's when you'll find it. And with that strength, your greatness will have no limits.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Boy, them old Chad
Robert Johnson. Coach of the Year in the state of Alabama, Brett. Is there any doubt? Whoever is Carroll of Ozarks coach is.
Roger McDonald.
He has taken this program.
Let's see what he's done. In 13, he came from Valley, Randy. He was at Valley in 08 and then dropped off and then reappeared at Carroll in 13. So took 5 years off. Maybe went somewhere as an assistant. Surely he did. Maybe an assistant at Carroll. They were 4-6 his first year, 1-9 his first year in 6A. And then 5-5 in 15, 12-1 last year, 9-0 this year. Man, I mean, look, man, all kidding aside, we went down there a few years ago.
It's 50-0 half.
It was like, I don't know if there's a worse team in the state. When they came out and warmed up, I mean, it was kind of like some giggles. You know, you kind of giggling a little bit when you saw them.
You wouldn't right now.
You wouldn't giggle on that.
Carroll Ozark, congratulations. That program turned things around like they have. And they
Let's
lost
go down
a
there.
tight football game in the third round last year.
Tell you how they're winning too, buddy. And nobody scoring on them. They beat Daleville 39-0. Charles Henderson 10-3. Headland 29-0. They beat Eufaula 35-23. That's the most they've given up.
That's a good Eufaula team.
They beat W.S. Neal 26-13. Beat Rehoboth 24-8. We know Rehoboth's no good. Beat Booker T. Washington 49-12. Escambia County 28-6. Greenville 14-8. All right, now granted, if you were ranking strength of schedule, this is somewhere down in the cellar. But they're beating who's on the schedule. They got Bayside Academy next week. So
that's a good football
That's at
team.
Bayside Academy.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, their strength of schedule is dead near the bottom of all classifications. That's not a stellar lineup there of football. But
Coach of the Year though.
Roger McDonald. There ain't no doubt. I mean, since the days of some of these that we just saw on here.
256-234-6221. Let's spin it over. Brett, you and I talked about Florida and Georgia a little bit earlier. You think Georgia gets over the Snide and take it to Florida. Is this it for McElwain? That's the biggest storyline there.
They're up in arms down there right now.
There's a disconnect, isn't there, Brett?
There is. He's had, and let me tell you what the more of the outcry is right now. It's the off the field problems that Florida has suffered going into the season. Maybe at the tail end of last year, they've had some issues. They've struggled, and it's carried over to the field. And Randy, man, this guy, look, here's one of the most mysterious things to me. You got coaches out there that are specialty guys. That is what they do. They came up through the ranks knowing how to play either offense or defense. McElwain is an offensive guy. He was an offensive guy for Nick Saban, went out to Colorado State. He comes to Florida, and I'm talking about if they were digging in an open field to look for offense, they couldn't find any. They can't find a quarterback to fit the system. This who they brought. They hired him because Florida's notorious for having great offense. I mean, it went away. I mean, I know he replaced Will Muschamp, who pretty much killed it himself. But you got McElwain, offensive guru, can't find any offense. Gus Malzahn, you scratch your head till it bleeds sometimes. Don't understand why. It goes what? Gene Chizik, defensive genius. We ain't stop a soul. Nobody. Will Muschamp, defensive genius, gives up just gobs of points. I mean, it makes no sense when these guys get in these head positions. It's just like they lose total focus of what their specialty is. Jim McElwain is not a very good football coach right now in this conference. Caller, go ahead. You're on the Saturday Sports Countdown.
All right. I went to the B.B. Comer down in Swole College, and I've never seen a school that's fall off of football as they have. I think they dressed out 12 or 13 the last time they played. And I think
what has happened?
Thank you so much.
What's happened at B.B. Comer, man? Because you think of some of the players that's come through there. Telly Embry came through B.B. Comer.
Yeah,
played football at Auburn. He was a good running back. Marcus Knight played at Michigan. Where has that gone, B.B. Comer?
First off, that's 20 years ago. And since then, has B.B. Comer even knocked on the door of a good playoff run since then?
You know, the good thing about it, and we'll give some props to the Alabama Historical, whoever this little secret society is, I'm telling you, number one, you've just got an unenviable passion for high school football or you don't have a job.
AHSFHS.org. If you love high school football and you don't live on this site.
I've never seen, the first time we ever discovered this, it was like you rounded the corner and you found a pot of gold. I mean, the stuff on here, but we'll pull up B.B. Comer.
B.B. Comer, and I can tell you, it's my senior year. Went to the semifinals, actually played Dayville and went to the finals, I believe, defeated Dayville in the semifinals in a really close football game. And they had a quarterback in Telly Embry who went to Auburn. They had Marcus Knight out at receiver, who was Tom Brady's lead receiver at Michigan, if you remember. From a really good football family in Sylacauga and just a super guy in general. As we,
last time they went to playoffs in 2013.
So they had a playoff team in 13
and 12. They were both 5 and 6. All right, since
95.
All right, since
they had a really good team since 95.
All right, 95 they were 14-1, and that's Coach Bobby Overton. Then you go up here. 8-3, 96, and then they had go up. 2000 they were 9-3. 2002 they were 0-10, and that's really where it started. In 2002 they were 0-10, and really since then they've been 3-7, 1-9, 2-8, 0-10, 2-8, 2-8, 3-7, 2-8, 3-7. They got back 5-6, 5-6, and 12-13. That's the best years they've had since 2002. And they went 0-10 and 14, 4-6 and 15, 1-9 last year, 1-8 this year.
It's just a tough sell in some schools. We have one locally that I think B.B. Comer defeated Central Coosa this year, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. That's their only win. That's the only win they've got.
Central Coosa's struggling with the same thing. You know, you think there's athletes there, and you can hear it all the time, but it's a tough sell.
Well,
at times.
You know what?
And watch, they'll be wonderful in basketball this year.
Of course they will. Here's the thing. You go back and you look at some of these teams and programs, Randy, you almost just can't even afford to have a team. You got 12 guys. I mean, you a couple injuries away from not fielding a team. I mean, that's not a joke. I mean, that's pretty tough. And, I mean, you know, credit the kids that are out there trying to play. I mean, those guys want to play football. And they know there's probably zero chance their opponents, they win a game. And, you know, you look at Coosa Central right now. I mean, I hate it for them.
How many they got out? Maybe 14 or 15?
Maybe. I mean, their history in high school football. I mean, you look at it; they're 79 and 224. So you're right. I mean, the sale is tough. If you go back and look at BB Comer real quick before we get out of high school, we appreciate the call. It kind of gives us another talking point. BB Comer, not terrible. I mean, $399 and $489. I mean, it's not like they're just never have won anything, but here of late, in the last decade and a half, it's not been pretty at all.
256-234-6221 up against another break here on the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. We come back, we'll bounce around all over the country. It's an off week, so not a lot of Auburn, Alabama talk. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Lakeside Marina and Watercraft Rentals have spring fever and are happy to announce that Bennington is back. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek is now Lake Martin's Bennington pontoon dealer with all models of Bennington pontoons that deliver speed, power, and stability with their elliptical sport packages and best-in-class styling and luxury. See the full line now for best selection as well as the all-new personal watercraft from Kawasaki. Lakeside Marina at Blue Creek, #1 for a reason. Lakeside Marina is also your authorized Easy Go kart dealer for Lake Martin.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Did your team just win the big game? Are you looking for a unique way to honor a valuable employee? Lila's Engraving has you covered, offering a large selection of custom trophies and plaques. Lila's also offers cast aluminum car tags, custom engraved wine glasses, clocks, and wood cutting boards. They even offer custom framing for any art or picture as well. Lila's combines the best quality items with the fastest service around. With over 27 years of experience in the Alexander City and Lake Martin areas, Lila's Engraving is your only choice for custom awards and engraved gifts. Always remember, winners choose Lila's.
LMG Advertising Agency offers a comprehensive marketing solution tailored to each of our clients' needs. We are a full-service marketing firm offering website design and development, video production, social media marketing, search engine optimization, and overall branding that includes logo design, brochures, mailouts, and more. Our experienced team of marketing professionals would love to come up with a marketing strategy that will deliver results for you and your business. Learn more at lmgadagency.com or call today to start at 256-825-0197.
Whether it's a walk-off home run, a game-winning touchdown, or a buzzer beater, make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup. Located in downtown Sylacauga and a short drive from Highway 280, Jay's has the food you're looking for. Whether it's wings, fingers, burgers, or salads, they have it all. Come bring your family for a great meal, come hang out with your friends for the big game, or call them at 256-207-0700 to place your order. Make sure Jay's Sports Grill is in your lineup.
Brett, when you've been on air more than you've slept in the last
well, I tried to sneak in a few more hours this morning, but we had a show to do. You come in here with spars coming off the back end of your car. I mean, it just, I don't know.
I can remember getting the giggles over the years, and it's a good time for us to talk about them. I'll never forget, we were calling our first state championship game for the AHSA radio network, the first event. And we had a 2A classification game. It got completely out of hand. And Leroy picked up a ball, and Austin Robinson went.
I mean, I can't see anything right now.
What was the score?
Oh, man, it didn't matter. I mean, it was like, I've never seen, he said they were helicoptering They were bringing helicopters in, trying to evacuate people. It was bad, man. I had been sitting in that little lower section in the press box at Legion Field, and I felt like I'd fallen down like into a ditch or something, and I couldn't. And that game had just gotten out of control, and it was bad, man. It was bad.
One of the other ones I can remember out there, we'll actually start talking some substance here in just a minute, but one of our 1-9 years at Benjamin Russell, we went over and played a Jeff Davis team at Crampton Bowl.
There was
and we punted a football that kicked our up back in the back.
I've never seen that.
We went off air for 5 minutes.
Oh, there's no doubt.
There was not a soul in the booth that could talk.
I mean, Michael, all you heard were chairs just went. It backed away from the table up there to call the games. I looked around. There was nobody left in the press box. I mean, it was bad, man. It was. You just come to these things. I mean, we got to laughing about something off the air that you don't know. Like if you've been away from a program for 20 years. Let's just say you hop back into town and say, hey, I want to check out my high school. I want to check out what's going on over there. And you roll over there and you go, what is going on? What happened? Is there anybody left over here? I mean, you kind of got that feeling.
That's what's so hard about high school football.
People like that.
I'll say this, people are so passionate in a lot of communities with high school football. And they breed them.
They do.
And they work with them, and they have broadcasters and people like that talk about it a lot, and it's a culture. And to try for some of these other programs where it's not a culture, you run into moments like Benjamin Russell did 6 or 8 years ago, where we go 1-9 and 1-9, and we win 5 football games in a 3-year span. And I had old classmates and teammates coming back to football games, if you remember, and them going, "What is this? What happened to Ellick City? Didn't we? I know we got some talent."
That's right.
But you have to really dedicate your entire community towards a program that takes that.
And I'm going to tell you something that we hadn't talked about in a long time on this program. That me and you almost like raised a flag in this community back in them 1-9 days. What did you talk about? And what did we start getting on board? And I'll name some guys that really got on board, Sonny Wilson being one of them. Youth football had died in this community. Died. It wasn't even a team. It wasn't even a league. And then all of a sudden, you look back up and the league's back and you're playing other communities. Then it grew to the point where Alex City didn't have to go play other communities on Saturday. We had enough teams to play ourselves. And that's about the time Braden and their group came through here just the last, last few years. But we went away to not even having a program. So when you don't have a youth program where you got kids getting involved and excited, the first opportunity for them to play football is in middle school. So I'm going to use my son as an example. I think it did wonders for him to play 2 years of youth football before he got to the middle school. Just for the fact of getting out there, knowing how to put your helmet on, knowing how to line up, do the basic things, okay? But then you move up to a school like the middle school with Shundell Rusall, who laid his guts on the line for that program, who was a phenomenal player, and who talks about nothing but Wildcat pride every day at practice. Running your sprints at the end of practice, finishing every play. That's why that 8th grade team went 5-1 this year. And you can see what they're building to, and you can see what that sophomore class and that junior class, along with those seniors, are doing over at Benjamin Russell right now.
I'm going to bring up a couple of communities here in the state of Alabama that I'm the most impressed with. These are not communities that year in and year out have the most athletes come out. Many times they'll only be 60 or 70 strong. Oxford.
That's right.
Oxford, I can assure you, if you go and you check out what they're doing with their youth programs, you would be blown away.
That's right.
Opelika.
Yep.
High school.
Yep.
Tallahassee that we brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out what Tallahassee does for their kids in the youth program.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a reason for this. Wetumpka last night. Many of them. You just
look at their complex that they just built in Wetumpka for baseball and softball. It's right down the road from their high school. I mean, it's It's a beautiful, brand new complex. Off to the left as you're going down to Wetumpka. The high school's down on the right. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about investing back. And Randy, we in this community had about allowed football to not become important for some reason back in those 1 and 9. Now, Danny was having to coach with what he was dealt with, the cards he was dealt. And you look back and you go, well, let's do a little research and see why we're not playing as good. Oh, we don't have a youth program anymore. When did that go away? Did anybody know that? That's when we all started talking. Sonny, you, me, several other people came together and said, we can't have that. We got to have you. Now you look on Facebook and you see the teams in Alex City Youth League, I mean, every night. Kids making plays, having fun, all age groups. You got to have a strong foundation. You can't just pick up a ball when you get 12, 13 years old and decide you're so far behind these other communities. So we got it back. And what are we doing now, Randy? We're playing the last 5, 7 years. Benjamin Russell's been playing as good as we played ever.
Got about 45 seconds left here. I'll try to run down some of these because I know there's a lot of recruitniks out there, and we're happy, as you see behind my head, the logo, the HSA Radio Network. We got the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Game coming up the week after the state championship games, which will be at Bryant-Denny Stadium this year. We'll be over there to call all 7 of those and looking forward to that. But we'll run down the players that have been listed and talk about some of them we've been able to see, Brett. Is there still some right there on the cusp that haven't received that big offer yet that may get an opportunity as we close out? But Auburn and Alabama very well represented, and this state is loaded this year with talent.
Absolutely.
Loaded with this year with talent. More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Hi, this is Quinn Harrelson with Interlink Mortgage in Auburn, Alabama. There are 1,000 different questions people ask me every day about mortgage loans. They ask about buying investment homes, primary homes, and even second homes at the lake or the beach. I only have a limited time to say, call me and let's talk about what you want and how I can help you get it. Again, win with Quinn and call me today at 256-675-6259 so I can help structure a mortgage that best fits you and your family's needs.
Game day. Last season you were watching football at the mercy of that loathed cable company and your weird roommate with the ornery chinchilla. But today you're going to watch wherever the Wild you want. You go here, Wild Wind Cafe. They've got all the games on more screens than you can count. And cute roommates. This is just the Wild you need. So go wild, superfan. We can't help you choking QB, but we do have cold beer.
So you want to build a home? Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile back splash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's Home Place.
Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance, you got to get to Gills. Selection and price, got to get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills. Cars that fit your budget. Service that no one around can beat. Stop by today and test drive the vehicle of your dreams. Gotta get to Gills Auto Sales. We can finance you, gotta get to Gills. Selection and price, gotta get to Gills. Gotta get to Gills.
What do you see when you think about your future?
Do you see determination that keeps you going, that helps you make a difference in your world?
Do you see challenges that make you stronger?
Southern Union State Community College realizes that your opportunities for greatness are unlimited. Your journey has just begun.
Welcome back into the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown. Got about 2 segments left here in the program. We just brought up the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star football game that will be the week following the state championships at the Super 7 in Tuscaloosa. During the break, if you're tuning in out there, I asked Brett, you seen a better high school running back than LaDamian Webb with your 2 eyes? Have you out there? Have you seen one better than LaDamian Webb? I'm not sure that I have.
There's not one. The only one that I can remember is Cadillac Williams at Etowah. And as far as the hype and being ranked a 5-star that, you know, Tennessee and Florida and Alabama and Auburn, everybody in the country gave an offer to. And he lived up to billing. When he got to Auburn, I mean, as you said, his freshman year at Auburn, about halfway through, he just kind of hit another level and never looked back. Battled some injury, but LaDamian Webb, man, at Beauregard, to be as dominant as he's been this long and to see what he continues to do week in and week out. I mean, last year in the state championship game said it all for me. They knew that he was going to run the ball. They still couldn't stop him. He ran the ball 54 times. Right now, I think they had 66, 67 plays in the game. He ran the ball 54 times. Just think about that for a second. I mean, that's phenomenal effort on any level. He won them a state championship. I'm not saying that Beauregard couldn't do anything without him, but Randy, if he were to go down for Beauregard, I mean, you would just almost say, man, that was it.
2 really, really good running backs here in the state of Alabama this year. And there's more than 2, but 2 that we'll see here in this football game for the majority is Asa Martin from Austin High School, 6 foot, 193 pound. Running back, and he has taken that Austin team. He's committed to Auburn University currently. And then LaDamian Webb, a 5'8", 190-pound running back from Beauregard High School, heading over to Mississippi State as we're running down some of these key players. Josh Marsh, a linebacker from Decatur, 6'3", 215 pounds, will be heading to Auburn next year. Looking forward to seeing him, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this game right here, Randy, every year, you look at some of the guys, even on the Mississippi side of things. I know you're going down the Alabama side, but you look at Chris Jones that played over there for Mississippi.
Fletcher
Cox, that people that you really didn't know going in, that you see the 2 receivers that
A.J. Brown.
That's what I'm saying, and Moncrief. I mean, you got some guys that just blow you away on the Mississippi side, but Alabama year in and year out it's unbelievable the talent that comes out of this state. A
couple of more quick ones out there. Jaquez Jones is at Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa. He'll be one of the linebackers. He's heading to Mississippi State as well, a 6'1", 215-pound linebacker. Going down the list, Mike Mays heading to Georgia Tech from Hoover. He's an offensive lineman, 6'2", 285 pounds. Ole Miss got a couple of key recruits here in the state of Alabama, one being a defensive lineman from Huffman High School, a 6'3", 280-pounder. Cameron Stutz from Brooks High School will be playing offensive line, 6'5", 325, committed to Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of talent. Big kid. You look at the schools represented on that list that you got over there, Randy. They're from all over. But I see 3 just off the cuff Robert E. Lee players on that list, and then you got. Maybe one of the storylines of the last 5 years is the resurgence of football in Montgomery. I mean, Montgomery, we had inside the HSA piece, we had a gentleman on that's kind of over Montgomery public football, and you know, that's something that they're extremely proud of, is that they're able to get back to a level, maybe not quite to the level they once were, and when Jeff Davis was winning state championships and Robert E. Lee was winning state championships, but they're close. I mean, Carver has really made some nice runs the last 10 years. Park Crossing now is a new school that Smitty Grider has had at the top ever since.
What a win for them last night.
Yeah, that's a dominant win over Clay Chalkville. So then you got Sidney Lanier, who right now I think what are they sitting at 6-2?
The only loss that they've had, no, they're
7-1.
7-1 to Park Crossing.
Well, to Parks Crossing, and then you got, and that was for the region championship. Robert E. Lee. I mean, they've been talent. They've got talent all over the place, and some things had to change. I'll just leave it at that. For people were coming in and cherry picking players, well, they stopped that, and now you see Montgomery football returning back to semi-glory days that we were all used to watching them all the way from the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Alabama commit Jalen Armour Davis from St. Paul's High School, a 6', 175-pounder. Anybody coming out of St. Paul's, you know, is well developed. He'll be heading a couple of more Auburn commits here on this Alabama-Mississippi roster, who is led by head coach Steve Smith from Piedmont. Shedrick Jackson, the nephew of Bo Jackson, 6'2", 193-pounder from Hoover High School, and Coynus Miller from Jackson Olin, 6'3", 295 pounds. A little odd year for recruiting for Alabama. What's going on? I mean, they're going to have a late close, and it's going to be off the charts. It has to be.
You know,
right now, it's not the same caliber that we've seen in years past.
I don't know.
Any feel for that?
I don't. I don't know what but that's being talked about in several circles right now. You're not the only one to bring that up. And, you look at Quantas. He grew up an Alabama fan. He picks Auburn. I mean, recruiting's not over till you sign on the dotted line. I mean, how many times does Auburn have to get burned by Alabama on flips? T.J. Yeldon. I mean, how many times you got to stand on the sideline at the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game and go, man, I can't wait to get on down there to the Plains next week and enroll early and start. And then as soon as the game was over, he flipped Alabama. And then, Reuben Foster did what he did. The Rashawn Evans back and forth there. Well, his dad had played Auburn. So, I hope he signs with Auburn, but there's still some players out there that I think could still be up in the air. But Auburn right now has done a pretty good job of going there. They got Asa Martin, Randy, and from Austin High School. I mean, they got some guys that really are top-notch players. And so, again, once we'll go in and we'll talk one segment of college football here. Gus Malzahn and his staff do continue to recruit well.
Yeah, 2 receivers that still waiting to see where they'll end up. Justin Ross at Phoenix City. That's a big recruit left here in the state of Alabama, and he is the imps of some of the top athletes I've seen coming out.
A lot of people think Clemson got a real good shot.
You think so? He'd be a good fit there. Don't you believe?
Yeah. Well,
Looks like some Clemson. Seth Williams from Paul Bryant. Another big receiver that we saw in basketball last year at 6'3", 212.
If there's anything about Alabama and wanting him,
he looks
he's
the part,
up there
buddy.
in Paul Bryant High School in Tuscaloosa.
Up against another break here, Brett. When we come back, we'll close it out. As it has been an off week, so not talking. Had a quick one. Tyree Gray was a great runner, not a running back, but he came out of Ellick City. Y'all watched him. What do y'all think? He's the most dynamic player I've ever seen come out of our community here, and it's not even close. And just not a running back, didn't run the ball past the line of scrimmage all that often. Last season, he averaged 14 yards a carry. 1 out of every 3 times he ran past the line of scrimmage, he scored a touchdown. 38 that last year. It was mind-numbing what he did.
Special, man. These
but
guys.
LaDamian Webb runs through tackles.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get the guy down.
You'll
He's
see
like
next
a bowling
week.
ball. He's something
Come out and
else.
see him.
More of the Sports Blitz Saturday Sports Countdown right after this.
Why buy your next car from Lynch Nissan of Auburn?
If you're seeing the American cockroach, throw up the red flag. Ladybugs, throw up the red flag. Ants and swarming termites, throw up the red flag. And kudzu bugs, throw up the red flag. That's Red Flag Pest Control. So the caution is on. Call Red Flag Pest Control today.
I'm Scott Davis with Red Flag Pest Control, celebrating our 10th anniversary. Call me today, 256-825-0430.
When you're born, you're really young. You're like 0 years old. My grandma tells me to quit growing up so fast. But what can I do about it? My mom keeps throwing me birthday parties.
Russell Medical, comprehensive care in your corner of the world.
Show Enough Barbecue. Since 1990, we've been serving you the finest barbecue in Alexander City. Gerald believes in cooking fresh meat daily, and the secret to that is, I'm not going to tell you. Show Enough is just not about barbecue, but also known for fresh vegetables and homemade pies. That's where I come in. I'm Linda Sanford, better known as the Pie Lady. We also do catering. For more information, give us a call at 234-7675.
Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. At Walls, you'll find a dedicated staff offering top quality service from routine maintenance to a full engine overhaul and everything in between. Brian Walls and the folks at Walls Tire are local folks that you know, and they provide the best service always at a fair price. Find out what the rest of the Lake Martin area already knows. Walls Tire is the Lake Martin area's complete automotive solution. Just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
Brett, we talked about it in one of the opening segments here of the program, that it was a big buzz around Auburn yesterday that athletic director Jay Jacobs would be released, and get through the end of the night. It looks like more fake news out there, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see how this thing plays out, because this is the 3rd or 4th time I'm kind of getting a little numb to the whole story.
In this day and age of technology and being able to get a hold of information, there were too many outlets yesterday talking about this. Something happened yesterday. It's an off week for Auburn. No football. I saw a picture where Rod Bramlett's not even in town. He's at the beach. I mean, what a perfect time to bring powers together and kind of talk about the future of the athletic program. Something happened yesterday. Now, how much got out, who knows what, how much validity is to it. To me, Jay Jacobs tweeting out, "It's great to be an Auburn Tiger," solidifies that something happened yesterday. That it kind of comes back to the fact that, I'm still the AD right now, and I'm going to be till the end of the year, till December 31st, and then I'm going to walk away. And I think that's what's going to ultimately happen. I talked to somebody yesterday. I won't call their name out because I didn't ask them. But I talked to somebody yesterday that feels the exact same way, that they feel like that's exactly how it's going to go down, that he's going to be afforded the courtesy to say, all right, I'll step away and then at the end of the year. And y'all can start looking for somebody to come in as the new AD. I mean, the guy probably deserves it at this point. He's been there that long. He has done some good things for Auburn athletics. I know Luke kind of went down the line and kind of in tongue-in-cheek talked about equestrian championships and all that, but he has gone out and done some things. But the problem with Jay Jacobs is he is too handcuffed to some people down at Auburn that make decisions. He's not really, and a lot of people feel like he hasn't really made the decisions. He's been a pawn for some of the brokers at Auburn. Now, some of those power brokers have changed over time, but still, powers that be kind of control him. Auburn needs to go out and get somebody that doesn't have connections, that can go out and make decisions freely.
We were talking about Mr. Football here in the state of Alabama. We got a quick Update right here from Stacy Mills said Justin Ross, add him as he was watching us during the break.
Yep.
Thank you, Stacy, for adding that one. Asa Martin,
Well, yeah.
Damian Webb.
That's right.
Tagovailoa
Yeah.
at Thompson High School, Justin Ross. This is really top-heavy. And I'd say Paul Tyson from Hewitt-Trussville. That would be your top 5.
You know, most of the time, and you look back, you got the last wide receiver to get it was Julio Jones. So is Justin Ross in his category?
Maybe not stats-wise, but I think athleticism-wise.
So what I'm saying is you have to go all the way back to a tight end in 95 and Gorman Thornton from Jeff Davis to see Mr. Football there. Just not many receivers win. Roderick Green won it in 84. Freddie Wagan won it in 83, and they didn't start Mr. Football until 82. So really, what did I count? 4 wide receivers in the whole inception of Mr. Football. Most of the time, it's a running back. If a running back's having a good year, it's a running back. Now, if a quarterback's throwing for all types of yards, I mean, Cody Blanchard won it at Cherokee County. We remember him. Clint Mosley won it from Leroy. Jeremy Johnson won it from Carver. Tyler Johnson won it from Spanish Fort. You got your quarterbacks mixed in there. Jamarcus Russell, Brandon Cox. But you got a slew of running backs that have won it over time.
Tagovailoa, big storyline last night is Thompson, who was 0-20 all-time, versus Hoover, get off the snide.
Isn't it Tulia?
Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
There's no chance I'm going to get this
it's
right.
It's Tulia and then Tua. Tua is at Alabama. I'm talking about their first name. But
okay.
Yeah, Tagovailoa is the last name. I was just trying to think. Is it Tulia? I don't know how to pronounce that first.
Sounds good.
Lord have mercy.
98-yard drive, though, to close things out. That's one to get your name.
That's a program changer. Is what that is. You got Hoover out there with the big H on the side of their helmet and pick 6, take the lead. You're like, well, here we go again. It's always backed up, everything against the wall, 90 on the 2-yard line. What do? Drive right down the field, score the winning touchdown. Man, that is a program changer. That tells you, man, we have arrived. We can go the distance on the big boy that's been at the top of the pinnacle for 15 years.
Yeah, really good point, and it was a great football game last night. Are we breaking at 57, Brett?
No, I think we go on. I don't think so. I think we go on closer to the end.
Okay, Michael, just let us know.
Yeah.
We're not normally the host here
That's
on
right.
this, so
That's
hang
right.
in there with us. As
I do know we take our hard break, so
we may have
just
missed
don't know
a few
when
of
this
those.
last one was. So.
But a couple more minutes here, Brett. Moving around, Penn State, Ohio State.
What about Florida State last night?
What was the final?
34-3. Boston College.
That's not good, man.
Florida State has mailed it in. They're terrible. They are just horrible, man.
What does that say about Jimbo Fisher?
I don't know, man. He's trying to fight fans out there in the stands and stuff, and pointing up in the stands. Things kind of the seams have kind of come unraveled. This is a team that was preseason ranked number 2. Watch their quarterback go down against Alabama, and they have not been the same.
Well, that tells you a little bit more about their program, though. Let's just say Alabama had a quarterback go down.
They wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't tank him.
No, they wouldn't even miss a beat, probably.
So the difference in those two programs?
Tremendous. And I think a lot more programs are like Florida State's. They hinge on one player. I do.
Which programs do not hinge on one player?
Well, Alabama's for sure.
If Ohio State had a quarterback go down, they'd still be winning football games.
They'd still be winning football games. If Saquon Barkley went down at Penn State, would they still be winning?
I don't know that they'd be winning like they are.
I just think it's hard to get to that level where you're not a one-horse guy sometimes. I mean, Auburn's a proof of that. You can get 2 years, 2010, 2013, you got 2 unbelievable quarterbacks. You can go the distance. You take them quarterbacks out, and you struggle, and I think we do have to get out here.
I want to thank all of you for tuning in, finding us on Facebook Live. For Brett Pritchard, Michael Forehand back there producing, I'm Randy Lee saying thanks for tuning in to the Saturday Sports Countdown.
Even the best of us forget sometimes. But buckling up is one thing you always want to remember.
Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama.
A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Lake Area Realty is Lake Martin's Century 21 real estate company that proudly serves all the Lake Martin area. Rhonda Gaskin and her staff of caring professional realtors offers full sales for buyers and sellers in the area and can even help you with finding rentals or managing your current property. Whether it's your dream lake home, waterfront property, area family home in town, or just a starter home, Lake Area Realty can handle it all and advise you on all your needs. Buying and selling real estate is important to the professionals at Century 21. Lake Area Realty are your friends in real estate. Call or visit lakearearealty.net.
Homeowners all over Alabama have discovered that when you need your flooring clean, whether it's carpet, upholstery, or any manner of hard surfaces, there's no clean like Peaches and Clean. Serving Auburn, the Chattahoochee Valley, Montgomery, Birmingham, and the Lake Martin area. Call 866-837-6937. 866-837-6937. Or visit peachesandclean.com. Caring for your floor and a whole lot more.
There's no clean like Peaches and Clean.
Your comfort is our #1 concern. Advanced Heat and Air.
Advanced Heating and Air makes your comfort their priority for any season. Advanced Heating and Air is the region's Trane dealer and an Alabama Power Superior Solutions dealer that can save you money and energy with a new electric heat pump. Advanced Heating and Air maintains the region's best service team, so rely on us to make your comfort our #1 concern. Call 234-5052, and we're there for you.
Not buy a car this week
until you check out Hyundai of Auburn.
Max trade value, max savings,
my max markdowns,
Max Credit Union and other lenders ready to approve with the max warranty.
America's best 10 years.
When we deal, we pay off your trade no matter what you owe.
And like Christmas, it's just once a year.
And only one place, Hyundai of Auburn.
Get down here today.
The Car Stereo Shop in Auburn is more than your car audio and video headquarters. Everything you ever wanted for your boat, including speakers, amps, and subs from brands like Sony, Kenwood, Memphis, Kicker, Polk Audio, power speakers from Kicker, Skyline, and Wet Sound, underwater lighting from Motion LEDs and Shadowcaster, and for your ATVs, side-by-sides, and motorcycles, the best in power sports products and lighting. How about a custom tailgating package or a custom-built mobile office? Where your imagination becomes reality, the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn.